Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here. Today with the Mercy Tiara Summer Inspiration YouTube Hop. I'm really thrilled to be part of this, and the prompt that I chose actually gave me a little bit of trouble. It was something that interested me very much at first, and then I had no idea where I was going to go with it until I came across this photo, and I have absolutely no idea who took it, and I don't think I'd ever seen it before until I was rummaging through some things in my Photos application on my Mac, and I saw it, and it's just perfect to represent what summer has always been about. My prompt is blank is blank. Summer is the time for dancing in the streets or whatever it is that you do in summer. And summer has always meant Ava standing at the top of the stairway saying, "Ma and Pa, are you guys ready to go to the pool?" And this is a photo from those days. This year, instead of flamingos in the pool, she's drawing swans in the craft classes at the Children's Hospital where she's getting treatment for leukemia. And she just got home from a 17-day stint. She's actually back now with starting her next round of chemo, which isn't going to be so bad for her. But of course, that's kind of on our minds. So what I thought I would do is a page that's bright and happy and uplifting, and I picked a couple Pink Paisley collections. I think there's some, there's definitely Horizon in here. There may be some Whimsical, and there's an older collection from a 6x6 pad, a wonderful collection I had never seen before called Summer Lights, and I got this in a pay it forward box, and I'm treasuring every single square inch of it. And I have a selection of possible embellishments and a title. Not sure what of those I'll be using, but what I've done is I've kind of used as inspiration one of the Scrap Squad cyber crop lifts. I wasn't able to keep up with the cyber crop, but I'm determined to go back in and do all of the layouts that were there. And each challenge had two inspiration layouts, and you could do one or the other or both. So I'm trying to do both sides. This one is about the diamond shape, and there was one of the layouts that actually used squares set on the diagonal so that they look like diamonds. So that's kind of what I'm going with here. I just cut a bunch of them. I didn't count. I cut from the pieces of the scraps of paper that I had, and I've arranged them here in kind of a dry fit just to see if the photo fits nicely, and I kind of like the way it looks, so I'm going to start gluing things down. I also did some distressing. I distressed the mats on the photos, and so I've kind of, to go along with that, I've distressed the edges of the diamonds, or the squares, or the half diamonds, or whatever it is we're calling these pretty pieces of paper. And I noticed as I laid things out that as I extended one area of diamonds, it kind of ended up over here. So I'm actually going to try to space that out. I'm not sure. I don't do measuring, so I'm going to kind of see how this works. That'll determine my placement, and it may be different on one side than it is on the other, and that's okay. What I like about all of these collections is that the colors are compatible, if not, okay, let's see, that doesn't really match up unless I leave a border. So, a border it is. And then I'll put this one, not to worry. In scrapbooking, the idea is that you're using scraps, and sometimes the scraps aren't perfect and don't lend themselves to a perfect page. I'm going to lift that up, kind of put that at about the same distance as the half diamond or half square. The triangle is down at the bottom. Again, not particularly, if I'd thought about that, having these two across from one another might have bothered me, but I'm going to elect not to notice it. Let's see, get that right there. Love this Horizon paper. It was one of my favorites in that collection, and it's a whole collection of favorites. So let me do this one next. I'm not going to overcomplicate this. I have a couple other challenges I'm trying to sync up to, and yep, that's going to work out perfect. One of those, that for the love of pretty paper, requires a it's a little less of a border on this side, but again, not gonna bother me. I've already matted, distressed, and put foam on the back of these photos. So now I'm going to put them out here. Let me see how that works. I'm going to overlay that, so I don't really want the foam to overlay. So that's going to have to go like this. What I'm going to do is my journaling will kind of fit in around the photos here. Another challenge I'm doing is the Mind the Scrap Summer Challenge. There's For the Love of Pretty Papers having a summer fiesta, Mind the Scrap's having a summer challenge, and the summer challenge at Mind the Scrap is a team challenge. So all of the layouts you do, if you do all 5 of the rules, you get the maximum, which is 25 points. I'm going to kind of do a little glue down here. This is embroidery thread, and it's not as cooperative as sewing thread is in keeping its tangle, shall we say. I'm going to do another bit, and I'll just kind of use it as it is. I'll stick the glue in here and kind of push it through, not trying to get any particular shape or pattern in the bunching, and I will probably tease it out once it's kind of stuck there. I might tease it out to get a little different look. Okay, now I'm going to take the letters I've selected for the title. I'm calling it Little Dreamer, not using the name of the prompt as the title. I'll address that in the journaling. Didn't want to get do too much of a downer in terms of the title. I kind of like that, actually, and that might look nice there. It's a big bunch of horizon flowers, but I tell you what I'll do is I'll do the little down here on top of this row. Let me start with the E and go backwards because I want it this way. I went through my remaining alphas in this set, and I felt lucky to have the letters at all, and I had hoped to have each letter a different color, but I had only a green L and only a green E. So we have, but they're opposite ends of the word, so I think we're good. And one of the Mind the Scrap rules is for our this particular week is to use a have two different fonts in your title. So I've got the chipboard kind of typewriter font, I call it. And then I've got a script, and the script is kind of the opposite of chipboard. It's very flimsy from a sticker book, and I'm going to use it. Let's see, do I want it here or here? I think I'm going to use it here. And what I did the other day, I used something from this same sticker book, and it just kind of looked, I'm so used to the look of thickers that it looked very kind of flat to me. So I actually drew in my own shadows, which gave it some depth, and it really looked, when I took the photograph, of course I knew it wasn't chipboard, and these weren't raised letters with a lot of dimension, but it kind of looked that way. So I'm going to try to do it again, and if I mess up, I'll just surround them. Let me see if I can get the camera in closer to what I'm doing here so you can see, so that if it works, you can say, aha, yes, I'm going to try that. And if it doesn't, you'll say, boy, I'll never try that. I want to go, assume that the light is shining from this way, so the right side and the lower part of the letters are going to get the shadow. So kind of like that. Here, kind of underneath. We'll go like that. Whoops. See, and that's just kind of, again, gives it some depth. So I'm glad the ink was wet enough for me to do that. Let me go here. I may not be doing this absolutely correctly. I may have light coming in from all kinds of different directions, and this may not pass an art class examination, but we won't tell anyone, will we? Little dreamer, and she is a little dreamer, and these days she's dreaming of getting her hair back and being a normal kid again. So Okay, I will leave it at that. I'll have to push that down. It's not exactly as well thought out as the other one I did earlier this week. Let me get a little bit of glue where the corners aren't sitting down. I sometimes will repair them because in this case I'm not going to have a lot of stickers that will fix that up. I always use hearts on my layouts, and I think I'm going to do it on here. I don't have the overlapping heart in the supplies there, so I'm going to go through my collection of hearts and see if I can find one in the right color, this light, and I apologize for this mess. I'm embarrassed to show you how I store my enamel dots. I have a kind of a bright red. I seem to have quite a lot of those. Here's a nice blue, and I like that it's a different texture, so I'm going to use that. It's also a slightly different color blue, but I've got lots of different blues going on. It's a blue that's kind of closer to the color of the pool. I've got this, I had another, okay, Life Today is something I could put down here just as a comment. I think I'm going to put a little foam behind these. It's kind of an indication that these days Ava doesn't spend time in the pool, but she goes to the craft classes at the hospital and draws swans. So I'm going to, there's a little bit of detail work there. I'll put that there. Do another little, I'm just cutting a skinny bit of the foam, and I'll do this on camera so that you can see. Kind of stick that there, peel the tape, the double-sided tape up, kind of stick that. And I like that this blue, you didn't see that. I like that this blue is here because it provides a background against which you can kind of read that white. Here's something that may be the wrong color. It says treasure this, and I wanted to use that. It goes with the collection, so I think I'm going to put it down here, kind of away from the colors that have the bright hot pink, but not so much that purplish color. I've got a little piece that says soak up the sun, so I think I'm going to pop that up on some foam as well. That one can be a little bit longer. I'll stick this, like I said, I'm really not going to overcomplicate this. The story that that fits the prompt will be in the journaling, and I'll do that separately. I have splashing and a good old time, not necessarily appropriate. I've got hello. This hello is kind of cute, and I thought maybe I could pop that up and maybe fussy cut some of these flowers or add some of these loose flowers to kind of brighten it up a bit. So let me see if I can do that. Let me try. Well, let's see. I thought I'd put it maybe here and kind of, I can tuck these under the, let me do that. I'll put all three of these. I'll tuck these under the square, and I'm tucking them there now to kind of save time. I don't like that it looks like a grouping of one kind and the other kinds. I've got a couple other embellishments. I'm kind of liking it the way it is. I'll let the patterns on the paper speak the color story, if you will. I think I'll call it done right now for my Mind the Scrap requirement, or the thread that I have bunched under here, the rainbow colors, titled with 2 different fonts, more than one photo, and 4+ sequins. I will, after I've done the journaling, add 4 of these aqua sequins that will be bluer when I put them on this. So when you see the finished layout, it will have some sequins perhaps lined up here, perhaps lined up down here, or maybe sprinkled around the journaling. I really won't know until I get the journaling done. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy it. Please do check out all of the other wonderful scrappers who are participating in this YouTube hop. Enjoy and happy scrapping.